now. Awesome. I think we're getting this going. Hold on. Hey, everybody. It's Adam. And we're doing an impromptu live today. Nobody was really expecting this, but now that we're getting things going here, all right, we're up on all the platforms.
Awesome.
This is my friend Shay. Hi, Shay.
Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. How are
That's
you?
right. I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. I did my workout this morning. I'm feeling energized.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen,
What about
we're
you?
doing.
How are you?
I'm doing good. It was a cardio day, so it was all like stretching and then just a lot of treadmill work today. Lighter day, I guess. I don't know why I said that 3 times, but yeah, it was a lighter day for me.
Maybe because you're on fire.
We're going to take a minute here, folks, before we kind of dive into everything here, and we're going to share this out to some of the other platforms and stuff. So if you guys watch this, if you guys are on, jump on, say hello, and let us know where you guys are at out in the old interweb lands, if you would, please. That is not what I wanted to do. Shay, while we're doing this, you want to enlighten everybody as to what we're talking about today?
Sure. We are talking about how podcasting is a great tool for your business, and how we have really invested in building a community that uplifts and supports podcasters as well as purpose-driven entrepreneurs. So
That
the
seems
why behind that, the
like
how we're doing it, and just kind of announcing it, because I don't know about you, Adam. Have you like announced this to your community that you've been doing this?
what, that I've been podcasting?
No, about the maker's machine.
Yeah, so it goes in. So quite a few people. Obviously, we've shared it out on the home network, Heroes Media Group. It goes out, and we've shared it in the monthly newsletter that goes out with the shows that are part of HMG. And then talking with people just kind of in passing with everything else that you do, or that I do when I'm out in public, or or whatnot. Just small talking it up with people. People ask what you do. It's one of the things that I start. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've got several businesses, this being one, and a lot of the times when you get into conversation, in fact, I had that conversation with a guy next to me on the treadmill this morning. He was going through some things, and it was like, who do you have to hold you accountable? He's like, I'm looking for like a group or a men's group, and I was like, well, we have an inner
Mm,
circle called the Maker's Machine. And he was like, well, what is it? And I didn't go into a whole big detail. I was like, why don't you just come check it out? I was like, and I gave
mm,
him my cell phone number. I said, shoot me a text with your email, and over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to invite you to come in for free to just sit in one free time, and let me know what you think uh of the group. And it's a group of people from all walks of life that are there to, I don't want to say cheer, but it's like hold you accountable, um, but at the same time help you get to where you want to go. And
mm,
it's, you never people don't get to where they are in life or where they want to go in life by doing it just by themselves. They got to have some type of help along the way. And it took me a long time in my life to realize that you can't do everything by yourself. You can't be afraid to ask for help. And this is one of the things that our inner circle has held me accountable for, is being vulnerable enough to ask for help,
mm.
because it wasn't always easy for me to do. It was like, well, F it, I'll do it myself, whatever. And that's just wasn't the way. So I think the Maker's Machine is a great it's turned into a great thing for me personally because along with you when we first had this when you had the idea last year and when we first kind of kicked it off last December and really started this journey earlier this year. I mean, we started with what like 5 people and it's grown to,
Yeah.
10 plus and we've already got 2 people that want to start their own chapters. We'll get into that side of it, a little bit later in the show today. But what has it done for you? I mean, you this was your kind of your idea. What sparked this
Mm.
idea? See
Hmm,
what I
no,
did? See what I did there? Yeah.
pun intended. Yes. Hmm, I love it. So yeah, so what sparked this in me was probably back in 2010. So what's that? Gosh, no, 15 years ago. Oh my gosh. Time goes by when you're having fun. It was really a out of wanting more out of my career than what I was getting.
Yeah.
At the time, I had a salon and I enjoyed what I did. I loved what I did. I loved the people I worked with. I had a business partner. I loved working with her. I loved the people at the salon. We really were in a great position because we had built our clientele up and then moved into our own space.
Hmm.
So we were super busy, but that's where it ended. It was like we were super busy, so busy that we did not, and we were in our own space with our own room where you would lock your door every night when we were so busy that we didn't have the camaraderie that we used to have like in a break room. We didn't have the conversations. And then when we did have the conversations, it typically went around you know, not really uplifting stuff. It was around gossip and the news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I really want to explore other businesses, other companies out there. And I started going to networking events. I pitched a software idea at Startup Weekend. Like I just really put myself out there and met tons of entrepreneurs doing all kinds of amazing things from developing software to starting nonprofits. And I would end up sharing with them because this was back when Instagram was really new and it was before, they were bought by anybody else. And so I'm talking with them about, have you considered putting your business on Instagram? And they're like, no, I had never thought about that. And next thing you know, I'm at all these networking events and they're taking notes. Like they get out their phone and they're taking notes on what I'm saying about Instagram, like how you can really utilize that. And they were like, "And what about you? Do you need what is it that you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a hairstylist." And they're like, "Oh, do you need more clients?" I'm like, "No." And so for I was like, "No." And they're like, "So what brings you here?" And I'm like, "I just wanted to talk about business. I wanted to meet new people and really make connections."
Yeah.
Well, then that's where it fell flat. There was lots of business cards handed out at networking events, but there wasn't like, uh, hey, let's continue this.
Right.
Hey, let's see you next week, which mind you, I saw a lot of them in the next week, but it wasn't really like an open, friendly, personable conversation. Now, could that have been my fault? Absolutely. It absolutely could have been. But I just kept feeling that there was something more in networking that could happen, and there was something missing in today's back then world of networking. And I was thought, okay, there's got to be something more. And so, to be honest, if you don't mind, I'll share this too. Also around that same time frame, um, my associate pastor of the church that I've been going to stopped being the associate pastor at the church and started a home church. And we did a Bible study in his home with like 25 people. And it was very engaging. Like everybody spoke, you talked to everybody, you did life together.
Mm.
And so in the back of my head all these years was this thought process of how can I combine the two where it's networking, but you're also doing life together. You're really encouraging each other, but you're also holding each other's feet to the fire and being accountable, like you mentioned, but also being able to go, hey, I'm stuck in my business right now. how can you help me, or what advice would you give me in this right now, and being able to do it without feeling judged.
Mm.
And I think that to me was like the biggest component. Like, what do you mean you don't know everything? You're a business owner.
Have you
And
been to other networking I mean to interrupt you, but have you been to other networking type groups? I mean,
oh yeah.
without
Oh,
mentioning, I mean,
many.
there's
Ma-
you know, you have chambers in your local area, and that can be very beneficial at times. There's other networking, groups that are out there that we won't mention names, but,
right. And
y
they have their
like
own way of doing things,
right,
right? They have
right,
a lot
yeah,
of like referrals, and then you give
right,
everyone a discount for the referral. And that's not, again, that's not what I wanted to do in my business. I really just wanted to be able to have more of a trusted advisory board that I could go to. And again, not have that judgment or that criticism
mm,
coming back to me. And I feel like it just all exploded in my brain this last year, a year ago, actually, and said, you know what, let's do this. And you and I have talked about this
mm,
with just the two of us for many years, for the 5 years that we've known each other.
yeah.
But then we've never taken the steps to do it. But
Well,
I
I think yeah,
saw,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I saw that a lot of podcasters, we work alone. We work at home, especially in the last 5 years. So many people are working at home, and then they're feeling isolated. So that's why I really wanted to create this community, this inner circle, to be able to connect all the dots.
And I'm gonna say this. So it's been fun working with you on this because it was when you approached me with the idea, I was like, "Oh yeah, like I totally get," because you think of the other groups that are out there and how they do it, and it's just like, okay, how can we take what's out there but make it our own, but and do it differently? And I would go as far as to say we're very much different than other networking groups that are out there. It's very unconventional. It's just very different how we view it, and it comes down to the purpose of it, right? So we
Mm,
we the biggest thing for you and I was we wanted to create a community of people. Now we started off with podcasters and small business owners, and it quickly realized that we are pigeonholing ourselves
yeah.
into that, and now we have people from all walks of life. We have other producers in the podcast world. We've have authors. We've got business owners. We've got mortgage and real estate people, and it's a wide range of demographic. It's a very unique group of people that we have that are in our inner circle right now. Um, and that's exciting. It's been fun, and what was even more exciting is creating the business side of this, and then realizing, hey, now there are people that are out there that want to start their own chapters,
Mm,
and and now this is just something that's going to grow. So that being said, the talk today, if you saw the beginning, ignite your ideas and watch your business and your life thrive. Um, and it's kind of a play on words. It's an undersell. I'm going to put something up here because before I forget to do this, Shay and I um, have been asked to speak at an event that's coming up. So those of you that are live, I got a couple of you that are live on different platforms. Those of you that watch this later today, as most of you probably will, because it's still pretty early. Um, Shay and I have been asked to speak. We're speaking and doing a workshop at Empowered Podcasting conference from our buddy Mark. He did it last year. That was the first time. So this is second year, and this year, Shay and I are going up. And Shay, what are we going to be talking about? What's our topic?
well, we're talking about how your how to fuel, there's that ignite word, right? Fuel your purpose and along with your passion, or your passion along with your purpose, however you want to say it. And I want to ask you before we get too much further, um, when you are thinking about this conference, what are you looking forward to the most?
Seeing everybody.
Yeah.
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 There's like, because there's a lot of people that are going to be at this conference. Several of the speakers that that I met last year. Mark has become a very good friend. Mark's been podcasting longer than I have. So it's been fun bouncing, ideas off of him, as well. And, just growing that friendship and relationship with him. Anytime you and I can get together, be on stage or share a meal, and whatnot, because you and I always have our sit downs and kind of cultivate some of the things that our plan or what we want to do over the next couple of months with the Maker's Machine, or just your show or the network as a whole. So we get to bounce ideas off of that, and that's the cool thing. There's going to be a lot of new people there that we haven't met. Um, and the nice thing that I'll say this about Empower that Mark and his team has created, it's not. I said this last year. It's a community, right?
Mm.
And I think that's one of the things that you and I are talking about is developing a community with purpose. And that's something that I pride myself in. But this is I've been to dozens and dozens of networking events and conferences and whatnot. And although this is a conference with a workshop, it's a lot of the times you feel uncomfortable because you're just constantly going to one or the other and not really intermingling with people. This is kind of a very intimate setting, and it's pretty cool. So let me just throw this pitch out there for them. If you're watching this or you're interested in coming on down, we're going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina, later, that just a couple weeks away, like 16 days away already. And if you're interested, they still got some tickets. Go to empoweredpodcasting.com. Check the link below, right here. And Shay and I are going to be speaking on Friday. I think it's around 1:15, something like that. So make sure you come to our workshop. So I want to throw that out there.
Well, and I want to mention that one of our members inside the Maker's Machine Inner Circle is a professor, and so has a podcast. She's actually going to be another speaker
Mm,
on the weekend on Saturday, and so again, all walks of life. But the great thing is that what you said is that the reason we like going to this particular podcasting conference is the people,
yeah.
right? And to me, backing up to what we were talking about with the inner circle, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That human interaction, the HI, the high, as I
Yeah.
call it, when all the things AI is amazing, right? We love it. We talk to it constantly. I just was, I call mine Chatty Cathy. And so I love AI. And yet, if we're not careful, we're going to get away from the human interaction. And that's what we're doing by what we've created,
Yeah.
is really being the foundation. Mm, got chills. Going forward on what human interaction will look like.
Yeah, and I want to hit that key because when it's come to AI, I've been more keep it at an arm's length. Like it is a tool, and although it's a pretty cool tool to use, it's like anything else in the world, though. It's when you think about it, like too much of a good thing could be bad, or if you abuse it, it could be bad. But I think the biggest thing is, and the one thing that I love is, that you said is what we've created with the Maker's Machine, is you have to have that human. It forces you to have that human interaction, and I think everything that you do in life, you don't want to lose the human side
Mm,
of things.
um,
I think about our inner circle with the Maker's Machine, and those of you that watch, if you're interested, send us an email. Shay, what's your email so people can?
You just DM me on,
Yeah,
whatever you're watching this on, Facebook or
yeah.
Instagram, just
Leave a
DM me.
comment. Yeah,
Yeah,
leave a comment below whatever platform you watch this on, whether you're on the live right now or you see this later. Leave a comment, Maker's Machine, so we can reach out to you. Um,
absolutely. Yeah, we're
but I
having
yeah, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, we can definitely invite you tomorrow, to our weekly
That's right.
call, so that would
Yeah.
be fantastic. It's perfect timing. Wasn't thinking that. Really wasn't
Um,
thinking.
so I wanna talk about another reason why I think why we're doing this is, uh, mixed with the human interaction, it's the purpose behind it, right? And when you approached me kind of later last year about this idea, and
How did
after
that well, let me
yeah.
interrupt you. How did that
Yeah.
resonate with you? What did you think? When did you think, "Oh my god, she's lost her mind," or did you think, "Wow,
No, no,
see
because
you
yeah,
can see the bigger, like we said, purpose, the vision behind this?"
I think I thought about it for a day or 2 before I gave you a solid answer, and I was just like, "Alright, I get this." If it's what I'm thinking, like, I took the business, approach, to it, and it was like, you s having gone and being a networker myself that several people have called me like, "Dude, you know everybody, or you know everybody that knows everybody," right? It's been one of those things where I've looked at it like, "Okay, I could see what she means and what she wants to do with this. How can I help her get to where she wants to go?" And then you asked me, you're like, "No, I want you to co-found, I want you to run this with me." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that was cool. I was like, "Okay, I get this. I'm just gonna help her where I can because I like the concept of this." But then it really became about the purpose, and then sitting down, I think it was like the first 2 or 3 that we did, and it was just like, "Oh, man, this is okay. Yeah, I could see where this could be something much bigger than anything that we've been a part of." And then I started realizing where it's like, I've created communities before. I've created entire networks, uh, like with Heroes Media Group. So it's like this isn't anything necessarily new for me in that aspect of it. So let's take my experience and her experience, and it's like, okay, what's the purpose then? And the purpose for me was it ties in with everything else that I'm doing in my life currently is trying to help other people get to where they want to go. And how can you be a an asset and a resource to those people that invest time and money into me? But then it's not just that, it's then now we have an entire inner circle, a group of people that meet up, and like our people, they tell us like this, I look forward to this call every week. Like how many times have we heard that every single week? Somebody says, "Hey, I look
Uh,
forward to the call because this
every
is
week.
what," and it's been like that since January, you know? And it's
Yeah.
hard to believe, now I say that out loud, it's hard to believe that we've been doing this since the beginning, of the year already. And we've only had, I mean,
Yeah.
I've brought it up in live shows, and we've talked a little bit about it, but we've kept it pretty intimate, and we've kept it pretty, cards held pretty close to our chest, right now. But, we're doing this live now because we're at a point where we're ready to share what we're doing more. And it's like, okay, we're wrapping up, let's be honest, we're wrapping up 2025, right? We're nearing the end of 2025, and 2026 is really going to be about growth for the Maker's Machine and people that want to get involved. We told you we've already got a couple of people that are starting their own chapters, and we're in the process of helping them do that now as well. But we've seen podcasts grow. We've seen other businesses started. We have seen people working together just in the last 9 months that we started this group. So it's something very special, I think, and it's exciting to think about uh, what's to come.
Mm.
So let me ask you this: when you see your purpose, what was your purpose of doing it? What was your main purpose of really keeping it going?
Mm, you said so many amazing things right there. And it hasn't been, I just want to say it's not lost on me that we've been holding this secret for, and not holding it secret. We've been holding it close to us because we were seeing if it really worked, if
Hmm.
it really took,
Yeah.
if it was really needed in in the world. And it's funny how, 9 months and we're birthing it, quote unquote, just kind of, you know, right now, right? That's really funny. It that never occurred to me until when you said that 9 months. I was like, oh wow. Um, I believe number one that the reason that we find joy in what we do is because we dig deep into the purpose of our work. Let me say that again. I believe we find joy because in what we do is when we find purpose in our work. Now, remember, I said I went to all these business um, networking events, and it was a constant. What do you do? Here's my card. What do you do? Here's my card. Here's my 30-second pitch, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Clap twice, move on to the next person, whatever it is that they did. And I was like, why are we talking about what do you do? Like,
Yeah.
you're constantly doing. And I thought maybe we need to shift the conversation. And one of the reasons it's called Maker's Machine is because I knew that when you combine that purpose into really making a difference in the world, in other people's lives, as podcasters, our voice is a legacy.
Mhm.
What does that really mean to each person? And so I thought, let's change the narrative of what do you do to what difference are you making in the world? And that really shifted. Whew, I got the chills. That really shifted, I think, how we approached this, but it also shifted in the conversation when we're telling people about it.
Yeah.
Because I know lots of people, when I mentioned, like, I started a networking event, and they're like, roll their eyes, another one. It's like, no, we're different. So, have you ever gone to a networking event and felt like, why did I go? And they're like, yeah, all the time. I'm like, well, I really want to talk about the difference that you're making in the world rather than what you do. That will come out what you do. But let's talk about the difference that you're making. And if you're not making a difference, do you want to be?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the purpose comes into, right? What is it? What is purpose? What does that look like? I think at the core of who I am, I learned, um, just a few years ago when I went to cosmetology school, that I my purpose is to make a positive impact in other people's lives. And so when I would have someone walk different when they got out of my chair, or have someone, like smile when they weren't smiling when they came in, right? That to me lights me up. And I thought, what if we could have a community where the people leave better than when they showed up?
Yeah. It gets them excited, gives them hope.
Yeah, it gives them the confidence to continue to move forward.
So let me throw something at you here. I'm kinda doing this on purpose, so I apologize. My thought process on purpose versus profit. What are your thoughts on that when you hear people like, "Oh, the purpose is I wanna make, as much money as possible, and that's what I do."
Well, it's funny that you mentioned this, because I am working with a very well-known motivational speaker, coach in the world. I mean, like world renowned right
Mhm.
now. And that is one thing that they literally say. If you focus on money, you could get money from anywhere. Is that going to fulfill you?
Mm,
And that word fulfillment, joy, excited, those are key words to me that are values that I really cherish. Contribution, service. What does that really look like for me? And for me, the purpose is those things. How
yeah.
am I contributing to this other person? How am I serving them? And then when I do that to my best that I can give, then I know the profit will show up. What about
Those of
you?
you that have watched the HMG Weekly Wrap Up or have heard any of the shows that I've done over the last decade, you've heard me say that in life, if here's the thing, if you want to make money, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to make.
Sure.
I would consider myself a capitalist. I like money. I like to buy things. And the money's great to have when the car breaks down or when the bills need to get paid. Nothing wrong with it. It's what you do with it, though, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got to realizing later on in life that when I stopped chasing a dollar, it came to me easier.
Yeah, isn't
Meaning,
that funny? Isn't that
meaning,
funny how you just release the control of it?
so I just did a simple mind shift and I focused on what the purpose was at the time or what my purpose is, right? And then live your purpose. And when you do that, everything else kind of falls into place. I'm not saying, now let me be clear. I'm not saying that life isn't going to kick you in the ass and push you down and stuff like that because you're just focused on the purpose. I'm not saying that. I, it may sometimes it may even feel like it's happening more than than what you wish it would.
What you
But
just said, if oh, go ahead,
no,
and then I
but let me
wanna
say this. But
say that.
focusing on the purpose side of things will get you everything else has fallen into place over the last 10 years.
So I wanna mention what you just said about, purpose and profit. So for a lot of our audience right now, they might be podcasters, and they might be thinking, "I wanna monetize my show." I mean, yes, of course, who doesn't? And again, I know there are some people who don't. And what I love about our group is that it is not about just the things that we bring to the table in every call. It's not about just how do I make money with my podcast? What you just said, it's a mind shift.
Yeah.
We work on mindset probably more often than we work on anything else. And one of our members just last week, no, 2 weeks ago, said, and I am like blown away that she said this. She said, I have been looking for clients. And I just said, huh, I think I'm ready for clients now. Instead of trying to force or trying to control or trying to, hit the grindstone. And she said, I think I'm ready for more clients. And all of a sudden, she had 2 clients show up. And it's because of the stuff that we have talked about, the stuff that we have done. I mean, we've done visualization exercises, we've done journaling exercises, we've done, things that you might come into this and you've never even considered, that you're like, oh, I'm going to a networking event and I'm just going to talk about what I do and give my 30 seconds pitch.
Yeah.
But the things that we end up talking about is it's about growth professionally, personally. I mean, the two are the same, but it's really about growth. What do you think?
No, I think that's exactly what it is. I look at it, I talked to a close friend of mine who's our accountant, does all the bookkeeping and stuff, and one of the things that he always thanks me, he's because I'm always asking him, I was like, how can I help or what can I do for you? And he's like, I mean, this guy works with, movie stars, professional athletes, and then there's like me. And everybody knows I don't consider I'm not anybody special. I put my pants on one leg at a time, unless I'm feeling daring and try to jump in and whatever. It's one of those things where it's just like he's like, "You're always asking what you could do for other people."
Mm.
I look at it as like, I think everybody does that though. That's why
Mm.
I know I already know I can hear your voice right now in my head. Like I know what you're gonna say, but it's like that is that's just me. That's just like I legitimately just want to help other people, you know. Um
I'm gonna interrupt if you don't mind.
please.
Ding, ding, ding! Winner, winner, winner. That's literally the reason why I wanted you to start this with me,
Yeah,
because you're always asking, "What can I do for you?"
yeah,
That is one of our core values of being in the inner circle, is investing in each other.
yeah.
So if you aren't willing to say, "What can I do for you?" or "How can I help you?" even though you might need help, then we're not for you.
Oh
But
yeah.
I know, and you know, so many people who are, givers, who serve, who have been asked for a business advice or podcasting advice or marketing advice
Or just
or
life.
or just anything, right? Any advice for free.
Yeah.
And we give it freely, not even thinking about it. And I thought, well, what if, we had a community of people who did that for each other?
It it's one of those things where it's like I contributed to this. I said this a couple weeks ago in the group where this group is special because there's people that I know the inner circle that I could turn to that if I have a question on something or if I'm just like have an off the wall idea that I could trust the people in that group. And
Mm,
trust is a huge thing for me. Like
mm,
um loyalty and trust has been things I have fought most of my life. And when you get people in your inner circle that either have had the same problems or issues that you have, and now you understand each other, and it's like, I'm gonna go out of my way to help that person because I know what they're going through. I get it. I've been there, or vice versa. And I think that's a cool thing. Here's the trick, though. I'm gonna tell you this: those of you that watch this, it gets tricky because a lot of the time you have to be willing to be open
mm,
to get help from others
mm,
and take either some criticism, like everybody knows I'm kind of the hard ass in the group because I just have no filter. And there's I've been called on that out a few times. And in doing so, I've been thanked for being that way because it's helped people get over whatever it was that we are going through. It's happened to me a couple of times, and it was just kind of like, man, that was a kind of rough call today. You know, Shay's called me out. Um, Fortunately, she does it outside of the public side, but she's called me out, and I appreciate that because of that. But I think, I'll say this kind of in closing is if you are somebody that watches this, or you know somebody out there that's a business owner, or you're thinking about starting a business, or you're thinking about starting a podcast, writing a book, writing a screenplay, whatever the case may be, or maybe you're just somebody out there that just needs some people around you to hold you accountable because you're not really sure exactly what it is that you want to do in life yet. That's fine too.
mm.
Leave a comment below. Just put Maker's Machine. Come check us out, and you'll be glad that you did. I promise you that. Shay?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say that this purpose is really key. So if you know your purpose, then great. Hold on to that. And if you're like, well, I'm not sure what my purpose is, that's something that we talk about a lot. We talk about, we go beneath the profit. We dig deep in the conversations that we have. And Adam and I also, we do sessions. We do one-on-one coaching sessions with you, or two-on-one coaching
Yeah.
sessions with you as well. So if this is something that you do want to explore, um, let us know, because we have found, just by taking a chance and saying yes to this, we have found such a deeper, more meaningful, bigger purpose than we could have ever imagined.
Amen to that.
Mm.
So if,
Amen.
again, folks, if you're watching this later today, or early tomorrow or whatnot, if this is something that you are curious about and you want to learn more, leave a comment whatever platform you're watching this from. Leave a comment below and type Maker's Machine, and Shay and I will get in touch with you, invite you. We want to extend this offer, invite you to sit in on one of our calls. The calls happen on Thursday, right? Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, every Thursday. Uh, One of us or both of us will be on that call. Along with, you'll get to see who is in and meet the people, our great people that are in our inner circle. So again, come check us out. Leave a comment, Maker's Machine. Shay, I'll let you close it out. Final words.
Mm. Have you ever left somewhere and felt that you have a spring in your step, or that you felt like, wow, that was really something, like I really took I'm taking something away from that conversation? Um, that's what we do every week. And I say this every time, or not every time, about every time. And so if you're watching this, if you listening to this, just know that your presence, your energy, the effort, the time that you took to be here with us is a gift. So thank you for sharing it with us.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Hit the comments, Maker's Machine. We'll see you guys next time. Shay, thank you.
Thank you.